Good day. Hi, my name is Roy McCloud, and I'm from Roy McCloud Wealth Academy. And I am excited about starting a new venture here online to kind of help people through a journey of getting to a place where I was. I started out some years ago, broke, busted, disgusted. I remember being a little boy sitting on my front porch. We had two steps or two banisters on the stairwell, and I would kind of lay across there just dreaming one day that I would get to go out somewhere and see what another city looked like, or get on a plane and just fly somewhere when I got old enough that I would not be stuck places. Well, life went on and stuff happened, and I ended up being the same guy stuck in that same place after college, living at home at the same place, just not going well. Didn't have a job when I got out of school. A lot of things just going on, and refused to live off my mother, but as much as I could, I was a man, so I decided to try and figure out what to do. But I did eat there, sleep there, didn't pay rent, but I was stuck back where I was. And life kind of went on, and as life went on, we kind of get accustomed to where it is. And I eventually found a job. Wasn't a great job, wasn't a great paying job, but it was something more than what I had, and I was just happy to get it. I was still playing, however, the small game, playing the short game, playing a game that did not allow me to get up and grow and develop and to reach my full potential. And I realized as the years went on that one of the things that was going on in my life was that we didn't have money discussions around my dinner table. At least we didn't have money discussions about how to make it with money, how to do better with money. Now, my parents were great. They didn't have debt. They didn't borrow money. They didn't use credit cards. That is until I got a credit card at college, and then I put my mom's name on it, thinking I'm doing her a favor, but actually just putting her in bondage, and a bondage that she had avoided for years. And here I was putting her in bondage to the tune of $23,000 or $24,643 for me personally when I graduated college. Again, as I told you, without a job. And so life is just going on, and I'm doing these things, and I'm a church guy, so I had faith that things were going to get better, and I was doing all this stuff, and all kinds of things that were going on, and hoping and believing, praying that things were going to get different, things were going to be better, and they just did not get better. And I was able to do some traveling. I'd gone to Cancun, I'd gone to California, I'd gone to Texas, some places. I got out a little bit, went to a couple of the islands, but I was still struggling financially. I still was not making it financially. I still had no surplus. I had no, what people call an emergency fund. I was just living, honestly, less than paycheck to paycheck. I was actually living credit card to credit card. I just had debt. Like most Americans today, I think right now, at the time of this recording, that it is about $8,000 per family or household that they are in credit card debt, meaning that they are living $8,000 beyond what they're bringing in every year. And I was in that number. I was one of those people. And so I was doing that, living that way, and things just weren't getting any better for me. And then one day for me, something just horrific happened, and that was that I was home here in Michigan, and my mom was in Alabama visiting, enjoying herself, and I got a phone call that my mom's brother had died. He had actually been murdered, and my mom was down in Alabama, different state, visiting, as I said, by herself. And I had the horrific responsibility of calling her, making her aware that one of her brothers was dead, and trying to deal with her emotions and trying to help her manage that, and then try and get her back home. And unfortunately, as I said, because I was not a good manager or steward of my finances, my mom was down in Alabama by herself, and we couldn't afford to put her on a plane. We had maxed out all the credit cards. There was not enough money for airfare. There was not enough money to send somebody down there to get her. There was just nothing going on. And so my mom had to board a bus by herself for a 15 to 18-hour drive. Can't remember exactly how long it is, but she had to board it for that long drive back to Michigan by herself, with the burden of her brother's death on her mind. And I didn't know if there was anybody to talk to, if she was going to be crying on this bus, if people were going to think something's wrong with her, if she was going to feel comfortable enough to share what was going on in her life. But she had to go through this by herself. Was she going to eat? Was she going to take care of herself? Would she be so distraught that she might miss a connection, or whatever things could go on or could go wrong while she was doing that? And so we managed to get her home, and that was great. And we dealt with my uncle's death and the funeral and all that other stuff. But it left me feeling less than. I remember, and when I was growing up, my father died when I was 14 years old, and my father used to talk to me all the time, and he would say to me, I've got one prayer, and that one prayer is that I live long enough to see you be old enough to take care of yourself, or maybe be able to take care of yourself. And so when he died at the age of 14, those words rung true in my heart and my spirit, and I felt like, okay, then I must be strong enough or able to take care of myself, because I just couldn't believe that my father would be gone and his one desire, one wish would not come to pass. And so, I felt like I should have been in position to help my mother. I should have been in position to, what I would have liked to have done was to flown down there, got her, and, flown back together. If she wanted to travel a different way, we could have done that together. But we just were not able to do that because I did not have the resources on hand to do it. And so, just throughout my life, that period, I don't know, maybe 20 so years ago, just really struggling with trying to make it, trying to figure out what to do, again, because money conversations did not go around my dinner table. I didn't know how to make money. I didn't know about investments. I didn't know the difference between a 401k and a 403b. I didn't know what a stock was, what a dividend was. Like, none of those conversations went on around my dinner table, and so I was not exposed to them, and so I couldn't do it. I like to talk to people and I say, hey, so why do you speak Spanish? And of course, most of the people that I talk to say, no, why? Because Spanish wasn't spoken in their home. It was not their primary language. It was not their first language. And just like it was not their first language, money or managing money well was not my first language. As a matter of fact, broke was really the language I spoke. If you asked me about it, I knew how to be broke. I knew I was so broke, I couldn't pay attention. I knew that I did not know how to make ends meet. I didn't know how to budget. I didn't know why a budget was necessary, if a budget was necessary. I didn't know the first thing about money. I had all kinds of things going on in my life. And I remember, again, I'm a man of faith. And so I remember praying one day and like, God, can you help me? You really got to help me, Lord, because I see in 3 John 2 that you desire above all things that I prosper and be in health, but I'm just not making that happen right now, God, and I need some help here. And so I just felt impressed, like God was telling me, well, you need to do a budget. So I did a budget, and what I found out was that for every $1 of expenses I had going out, I had $4 of income, which means that I should have 75 cents from every dollar that was able to do other things in my life. But because I was such a poor steward, such a poor manager, because I didn't understand money, because I didn't understand how to make it work, because I didn't know, any of the things that would be beneficial to me financially, I was living, like I told you, on credit cards. And there was no reason I should have been living on credit cards. And as I started doing my budget, I found out I was doing crazy stuff. Like, I was spending $600 a month eating out. Yeah, you heard that right. $600 a month eating out. Now, why was that a case? Like, that was a car note, that was a house note, like all kinds of stuff. But I was wasting that money eating out, trying to feel good. I don't know what I was trying to deal with, but whatever was going on, that was the reality of my situation and my circumstance. And so I had to learn to do that. And even when I did that budget, I only did it one time, right? Because there was no accountability. There was nobody to report to, nobody to make me do right. Like, I didn't know the whys. I didn't have a lot of things and tools that would help me, that I developed later on down the road, that actually helped me to get to a point that I could control my money, that my money wasn't controlling me, that I didn't have financial concerns or worries, that the stress of that was going on. I mean, I've been through, all kinds of stuff, delinquent on credit card bills, water bill not paid, trying to make arrangements with utilities. I mean, I've been through the whole gamut of everything a person struggling with finances would do. And so I really started to figure out, or try to figure out, okay, now what can I do to help me? So one of the things I did was I started talking to people, because I wanted to know what I could do differently, what I could do better. And so one of my friends set me down one day in 2000 and said, hey, I got a guy I want you to meet. And so we went to lunch and sat down, and this guy was a millionaire. And so he said that I'm willing to sit down and to train you and to teach you. You've got to be willing to show up. You've got to be willing to be obedient. You've got to follow my instructions. But if you are willing to learn, I'm willing to teach you. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to do. And so I sat down and began. I actually went into business with the guy, selling in life insurance, and I sat under him for 5 years. And in the 5 years, what I found was that I had to get a mind transformation, that my financial philosophy had to change, that I had a financial philosophy of living paycheck to paycheck, or minimum payments were okay, or it was okay to be in debt, like all kinds of things that were going on. I was not putting away money, like all kinds of stuff. And I'm, kind of rushing through the story a little bit, because I plan on talking to you guys frequently. And so I'll tell you more and more of these stories as time goes on. But the long story short was that in 5 years, I was able to get my mind transformed. And what I learned was I learned to, one, sell life insurance, right? I learned the ins and outs of that. And then from that, I went and got my license to do mutual funds and to do annuities. And then after that, I went to a different millionaire and let him start training and teaching me. And through him, I got my Series 6, 7, and 65, which allowed me to sell everything: stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and even just sell advice without being without having to have something out there that people were buying. Like I could just meet with people and charge them for that. And what I learned was that I really had a desire and a passion to help people to get to a place where money was not a worry or a concern for them. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to be rich, but that we could get you to a place to establish you that you can be confident that you are handling your money well and that you can get to the financial position in place that you want to be. I'm outside right now on my patio, and I want to emphasize that it's a paid for patio. In other words, my house is paid for. I purchased my house, now 7 or 8 years ago, but I paid the house off in just under 5 years. So I learned the strategies and tools to do that. And now if I'm going to do this all over again, the next time I buy a house or build a house, I'm going to do that thing debt free. My car is paid for. My student loans are gone. In other words, I am a debt free individual, and I actually like to go around the country teaching people how to get debt free. Like, how did I pay off my car? How did I pay off my mortgage? How did I pay off student loans? How did all of this stuff happen in my life? Much of this happened because of a mindset shift and things that are in their tools, their resources, their strategies, their ideas, their all kinds of things that can happen or that need to happen to help you do that. I've taught classes across the country now, doing all that stuff. But now I kind of want to see if I can sit down and do this thing online and help people to get to a place that they are, again, secure financially. They're not living in stress. They're not living paycheck to paycheck. They can have a comfortable retirement if that's what you want to do. I believe in refiring, not retiring. That is, you go to the next thing that you want to do in life, the next phase of life. I've got friends that have retired from the workplace, but have gone into being, super granny or super nanny, whatever they want to call it, because they wanted to spend time with their grandchildren and nurture the next generation. Whatever that dream is for you, whatever that looks like for you in the next phase of your life, I want to make sure that we help you to get to that point. And so I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel. And to the Roy McCloud Wealth Academy. You've got questions. I'm happy to answer your questions and do sessions on your questions to talk about them. Of course, I won't always be outside. I live in Michigan, and this is one of those days where we were actually able, it was sunny earlier, so we were actually able to get some sunshine and some warm weather, and I was able to get outside and enjoy it. I like being outside when I'm able to do that, and so do that. But I want to help you. I want to be here to coach you. I want to be an accountability person with you. I want to help you reach the place that you want to be. And so I'm going to talk about businesses here. I'm going to talk about taxes. We're going to talk about credit. We're going to talk about personal finance. We're going to talk about your vision. We're going to talk about mind transformation. Like, all of these things that are things that help people to move forward financially. Here's what I found out, that my desire, although I talk a lot about money, I really do. I talk to people all the time about money because people are scared to talk about money. And here's one of the things, one big key that I found out about money that I want to leave you with today, is that money is a team sport. You think about Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, you think about, Steph Curry, or, any of these people that you and I may admire in sports and all these places. These people have coaches. Even people in business, CEOs of major corporations and companies, they have coaches. And so why would you and I think that we should deal with our finances by ourselves? We need financial coaches. We need people on our side, on our team, that are willing to help us to move from where we are to where we want to be. And then when we get to that place that we want to be, to help us move to the next section of life. Like, I believe that we should be continually increasing in our financial ingenuity, in our financial resources, and being a blessing not only to our families, but to our communities, to our places of worship, and just to our fellow man. So I just want to, reach out today. And so again, if you've got questions, ideas for shows, or things that you want to know, I'm happy to help you with that. From time to time, I'll interview people and bring people on, and I'm going to try and keep these under 15 minutes so that you can, kind of get in and get out. And I look like I'm getting near the 15-minute mark right now. So I just wanted to introduce myself, to say that I'm probably going to publish once a week, maybe twice a week. I do some other stuff on Facebook, and so I'm maybe going to split some stuff up between here and Facebook. Again, it's Roy McCloud. The YouTube channel is Roy McCloud Media. The Twitter handle is Roy McCloud. Facebook is Roy McCloud Media. And I'll develop other outlets and things like that, and develop the website and all of that stuff soon. But until then, I hope you have a phenomenal day. Pray that you have a great weekend and that you and your family are able to enjoy each other. I appreciate you for giving me some time. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and leave some comments in the comment section below, and I will see you on next week when we do this again. God bless your bones. Goodbye.